All right, let's jump right in. We are going to tackle one of those math rules you probably learned, I don't know, years ago, but never really thought to question. Why on earth does a negative times a negative give you a positive? Well, today, we're going to solve this little mystery together, step by logical step. So, yeah, we're starting with a real classic. And look, this isn't about throwing complex formulas at you. It's really just about peeling back the layers on a rule that, for a lot of us, has always felt a little bit like, well, like magic. I mean, have you ever really, truly stopped to think about it? It's one of those things you just accept in math class and then you move on, right? But the why behind it, oh, that is way more interesting than the rule itself. And this just nails that gut feeling, doesn't it? On the surface, it just doesn't seem to make sense. You'd think that combining two bad things, two negatives, would just make everything, well, more bad, right? More negative? Now, to crack this puzzle, we're not going to start with some crazy algebraic proof or anything like that. Nope. We're going right back to the basics, something you definitely learned in elementary school. Okay, so this is the first key to the whole puzzle. I want you to forget everything else for just a second and lock on to this one single idea. Multiplication is nothing more than repeated addition. That simple definition, that's the foundation for everything that's about to happen. Let's just see this in action. Make it super clear. Take a simple equation, 3 times 2. What does that actually mean based on our rule? Well, it just means we add the number 2 3 times. So 2 plus 2 plus 2, that equals 6. Simple, logical, no confusion there at all. All right, that was pretty straightforward. Now, let's introduce a little twist and see if our repeated addition logic still holds up when things get a little negative. So, using that exact same logic, what does 3 times negative 2 mean? Well, it just means we're going to add negative 2 3 times. See, the rule doesn't change just because the number has that little minus sign in front of it. And when you do that, what do you get? You get negative 6. See? Our core rule still works perfectly. So far, so good. A positive times a negative gives us a negative, and it all makes perfect sense when you just think of it as repeated addition. Okay, we've laid all the groundwork. Now listen up, because this is the most important part of this whole thing. This is the aha moment, the one key piece of logic that's going to make everything else just click into place. Here it is. This is the big mental shift we need to make. We all see that little dash, and our brain immediately says negative. But what if we reframe it? What if we think of it as an instruction, a command that says, find the opposite of whatever comes next? Trust me, this is the real game changer. And now for the grand finale. We have our foundation. We know multiplication is just repeated addition. And we have our key insight that the negative sign can mean the opposite of. It is time to combine them and solve this thing once and for all. Here we go, the original problem that started this whole journey. Negative 3 times negative 2. Let's use our new tools and just break it down logically. So, let's translate this equation using our new rule. That first negative sign, the one on the 3, it's not just a part of the number, it's a command. It's telling us to find the opposite of whatever comes after it. And what comes after it? The equation 3 times negative 2. But hang on a second. Wait a minute. We've already solved that part, remember? Just a minute ago, we figured out that 3 times negative 2, which is just adding negative 2 3 times, equals negative 6. We already know the answer to the part in the parentheses. Okay, let's put it all together. The problem, negative 3 times negative 2, is really asking for the opposite of negative 6. So, what is the opposite of negative 6? It's positive 6. And just like that, the mystery is solved. And that's really all there is to it. You know, it might feel like some weird mathematical sleight of hand, but it isn't magic. It's just a consistent logical rule. When you find the opposite of an opposite, you always come right back to where you started. In this case, back to a positive number. Which kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on, doesn't it? How many other rules in math, or heck, in other parts of life, are just simple, elegant logic wearing a clever disguise? It really makes you want to go back and question all the things you just memorized. Thanks for getting curious with me on this one.